Welcome everybody to Kerry Foodservice webinar. We are so excited working with them. Today we have a lot in store. It's gonna be great. We'll be going over one of their companies called Big Train and going over a lot of very interesting and very flavorful recipes. And so my name is Kayla. I will be your host. And today, we will be having a lot of giveaways. We'll be having 3 giveaways. And if you are part of the poll, and there's no right or wrong answer, you just have to participate in the polls. If you participate in the polls, you have a chance to win a basket of Kerry Foodservice products and a tumbler. It is going to be awesome. You don't want to miss out. So be sure to vote in the polls. So I want to introduce to you Kerry Foodservice team. They are great. They are amazing. And I'm going to hand it over to Maria right now.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You are now participating in the beverage training for Big Train, which is we're going to be focusing around frappes and some boba recipes here. So welcome, everyone. My name is Maria Alarcon, and I am currently acting as Activation Marketing Manager. I also have another role as Sales Planner within Kerry. I have been a marketing professional at Kerry for around 9 years right now, and I'm very passionate about food and beverages that are fun, versatile, but then also taste great. So working with the Kerry brands, we're here to present to you how you can use Big Train to be passionate, to get creative with your beverage offerings. On this webinar and on my team, we have Levi Anderson, who is a bar owner, but was also an employee of Kerry for a couple of years there. Levi, do you want to say hello?
Hey, everybody. Yeah, sorry, my Wi-Fi went down, so I'm just on my little phone here, but hi.
And then we also have with us Carrie Anderson, and she is the brand manager that manages the Big Train brand and also Oregon Chai. Carrie joined Kerry, the company, just in September of 2022, but comes with a wealth of marketing experience. Carrie, want to say hello?
Yes, thanks so much for having me, and I apologize for the confusion between Kerry Beverages and my name. I'll try to keep it clear since we're just talking about Big Train today.
Thank you both. So here's a quick agenda on what we're going to be presenting today, what we're going to be working through today. So you met the Kerry team. We're going to be looking at our brand's overview for beverages, frappe trends, a couple of insights, some boba information, and of course, some great demos. I welcome you to participate. I invite you to be interactive during this hour. Please use the chat feature to ask any questions, enter comments. We would love to hear from you. So moving on to our Kerry brand. So we have 4 beverage brands that offer a full solution for your beverage offerings. Each offering or each brand has an array of attributes, and they work and pair very well together, but standalone as well can offer ease of use, popular flavors, just everything that you would need for your beverage menu. For this webinar, as we've mentioned previously, we're going to be focusing on Big Train and what you can do with Big Train without the need of a barista, but yet having that consistent flavor time and time again on your beverage offerings. So we're going to move on to the first poll question. Kayla.
All right, this is our first poll already. So I will be opening up the polls, but the question is, what type of business do you own/operate? Coffee houses, bubble tea shops, frozen yogurt shops, restaurants, bakery, dessert shop, beverage truck, other. So remember, you do not want to miss out on this. We are going to be giving away a prize. So as long as you participate in this poll, you have a chance to win a prize. And we'll be announcing the winner by the next poll. So go ahead, everybody, and participate. You don't want to miss out. It's going to be a basket full of Kerry food products, and then also a tumbler, and it's going to be a very nice cup, and you guys don't want to miss out. So I'm going to give it like another 10 seconds, and then we will close the polls. All right, so 3, 2, 1, polls are ended. All right, and we are going to go back to Maria, and we are going to continue our webinar.
Great. So I'm going to hand it over to Kerry now to walk us through what is a frappe.
Sure. So here I've got a history of the frappe, which is an iced beverage that's shaken, blended, or beaten to get to a tasty, foamy, and refreshing drink. Usually frappes have a dairy component, sugar, and ice. So they could be coffee or not. They're different than smoothies and different than milkshakes. They were devised in the 1950s and had a little bit of a reinvention in the 1990s with Starbucks and the Frappuccino. And today, frappes are really available at many different types of outlets. They can be a breakfast substitute, an afternoon snack. They can help to fill day parts on your menu. So they're a really great way to bring in incremental funds into your operation through different beverages, fast casual, QSR, coffee shops. They're pretty much everywhere. And we've got a beautiful frappe here right on the right side that you can see, hopefully made with a big train mix. All right, next slide. And the slide after that. Okay, so here we have some demographics demonstrating frappes on menus. So frappes are relatively popular. As we discussed, they've been around since the 50s and had kind of a reignition in the 90s. So about 82% of consumers know about frappes and 50% love or like frappes. They're estimated to grow about 14% in the next 4 years. And I'll speak on the next slide to kind of demographic preferences in terms of flavors for frappes. But we do know that younger Hispanic women tend to like frappes the most out of kind of all the demographics that we looked at. So using some of the research from Kerry's proprietary research team, we can find a variety of different appealing frozen coffee flavors. So this is really specific to frozen coffee frappes, which are really in Big Train's wheelhouse. We have blended iced coffee mixes, which are perfect for creating all of these different types of flavors of frozen coffee. So 2/3 of consumers prefer classic flavors like caramel, vanilla, and mocha, but about half enjoy really unique flavors and seasonal flavors like LTOs, pumpkin spice, s'mores, and gingerbread. A wide variety of LTO types are appealing, but items that feature fresh premium ingredients, new flavors, and twists on dishes and seasonal elements are also attractive to consumers. Gen Z is less interested in most LTO types, except for those that are considered Instagrammable, like the one in my background here that we'll see later on in the webinar. And millennials display above average interest in many LTO varieties. Seasonal flavors are most appealing to boomers, while fresh ingredients and event-related LTOs entice Gen Z more. All right, I'll hand it back over to Maria, who's going to talk a little bit to frappe trends that we see today.
So as Kerry mentioned, we see an evolution of flavor pairings that are popping up everywhere. And we have a couple here, for example, Starbucks with the Barbie Frappuccino, which is perfect timing or was perfectly launched in time for the Barbie movie. But then we also have other coffee houses like Pete's Coffee here with the mocha strawberry, matcha strawberry, strawberry cream frappe. So as you notice, the theme here, strawberry, is also basically based on seasonal preference or seasonal fruits. But then we also see the pairing of the frappe with consumer favorite desserts. So we see here from the coffee bean and tea leaf, the tiramisu ice blend. So definitely seeing the, that conventional surprise, but then also pairing it to relive some of those authentic memories are some strong trends that we see. I was doing some research here and noticed that one of the top Starbucks frappe flavors currently is the chocolate Java mint. So you see the pairing of the chocolate, of course, the espresso, but then the mint that gives it that refreshing taste. But then also one of their top flavors is the mocha cookie crumble, also pairing one of consumers' favorite desserts. And then we move on to the next poll question, Kayla.
All right, here we are at our second poll. So exciting. Would you be able to unshare your screen one moment? I just want to make sure everyone sees this raffle here. All right, this is gonna be great. Is this, oh, there you go. Awesome. Okay, okay, it's okay. So we're going to see who the winner is here. And we have number 11. Let's see who that is. Congratulations, Sandra. Sandra has won a gift for Kerry Foods. So congratulations. We will be getting your information to send you this gift basket. So congratulations. Yay. All right, so that moves on to our second poll. You can share your screen again. Thank you so much. And for those that have just joined, my name is Kayla. If you are here and attending, if this poll that we're about to have, if you just participate in the poll, you have a chance to win a gift basket from Kerry Foodservice, and we are going to start the poll right now. What is the most popular frappe on your menu? Mocha, caramel, vanilla, creamy fruit flavor, salted caramel. You do not want to not win this basket. It's gonna be great. It has a tumbler and it's very nice. So we are going to be closing this poll in about 10 seconds. So be sure to participate in the poll. All right, so 3, 2, 1. Okay, the poll is now closed, and we will be seeing the winner in the next poll. Back to you, Kerry Foodservice.
Thank you, Kayla. So we've seen some of the traditional flavors, most popular flavors, and we talked about pairing of flavors, but now we're really getting to that evolution of flavors and even bright colors, vivid colors, eye-catching, and it's creating the wow factor. So why the wow factor? It's all about creating an experience. Product experiences that are eye-catching, craveable, and hard to replicate at home. We have a couple of data points here showing how consumers, 45% of them consider ordering premium beverages and affordable indulgence, even when times are tough. 76% of operators say patrons are ordering more specialty and premium drinks than ever. So we see, for example, the image that we have here, and it's definitely a wow product, a wow factor product, definitely Instagrammable, which a lot of younger generations are all about that Instagrammable drink and will, pay a little bit more for it. So basically, wow factor, it's just adding that flair to your beverage that will add that additional value. And now we're going to move on to creating some of our own wow factor beverages using Big Train products. And I'm going to turn it over to Levi so that he can demo the first one, which is the OJ Sunrise Frappe.
Hey guys, thanks for having me again. Sorry, my Wi-Fi went all crazy, but luckily we have this backup right here. Excuse me. One thing that I learned, I've been making beverages for 20 years next month. So mostly as a barista and then as a bar owner now, and everywhere in between. So when I was with Kerry for a while, my title was Liquid Chef because it was just liquid things. One thing that I've learned, if you don't have a blender, it is such a versatile tool. You can use it for so much. I use it for breaking down citrus or fruits and then using them into purees. Obviously, a frappe would go much faster with a blender. And so, great tool, great resource. It's shelf stable. I've had this one for over a decade. But when you're using the blender, you don't want to just put powder in right away. Mostly because if this is wet inside, if you've just used it, sometimes the powders will stick on the outside. So just like a little tip for you all as you're making drinks, start with the most fluid to the most solid. So in our case, we're going to use the side here to measure out our ingredients. This drink's really easy and it comes from the inspiration of a tequila, Sunrise. No surprise. We're going to do 5 ounces, which is our baseline liquid measurement. So that's no change for you all. Here I just grabbed like a handy old normal scoop. That's half a cup. So now we've got our most fluid to our most solid. Next, we're going to put in our ice. So it's going to get loud for just 1 second. And here we're looking at about 1.5 cups. So maybe one of those ice cubes goes out. If you want to, if you're ever experiencing trouble with your consistency of your product, you can go ahead and give this one a really quick pulse blend. Just the smallest, especially if you have a lot of textures in here, that helps hydrate everything. So now you're gonna have the best blender performance you can. I'm gonna go on mute just because this blender is pretty loud. I don't want you guys to all run for the hills. So let me put it on mute super fast. All right. So now we've got our wonderful, basically an orange creamsicle. This one's going to be a little bit thicker because it's my fresh ice. So it was really cold. The beauty of a bar, a little trick, is our ice wells have been slacking out all day. So the ice isn't quite frozen. If you're making drinks from home for bar or otherwise, your ice is usually really, really cold, so you don't get as much water. So this is a really thick right now because the ice was nice and cold. The orange juice was nice and cold. If you're making this at a drive-through stand or somewhere else, you're going to find it's a little bit more fluid, a little bit more runny, and that just has to do with temperature of your ice and ingredients. So now I'm going to go ahead and try and course this guy right here. And if we do it right, it's going to look really good.
And Levi, we have a question in the chat asking, what is the name of the powder used?
Yeah, I just used the regular Big Train vanilla smoothie base. This one's the sugar-free because I like to start with less sugar and work my way up.
Thank you.
You bet. And this would usually flow a lot better because, again, it wouldn't be so cold. This is it. I have some purple lights above me, so you don't quite see the same effect of orange, but it has this really beautiful dark complexion. There's a little fun tropical topper. If you're ever having like an issue with the gradients, you can pull to the right side or put in a little straw and stir. That's what I wanted to show you guys.
Someone also asked, what about the syrup name on the bottom?
Yeah, for this one, I ran out of my grenadine, so I just grabbed black cherry. Or I'm sorry, blackberry.
Sounds good. Someone said that looks Instagrammable. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And I wanted to say, I can't, as a participant here on the panel, I can't vote on the frappes, but your poll last time actually put a little bit of the salted caramel in our espresso martini. And the salt and that dairy with the coffee, it pulls everything together. Salt's a really good secret ingredient. So I'm going to go back on mute.
Thank you, Levi. Let me share my screen again. So for those that were asking on the chat, the powder that he was using, the syrup. So we have the recipe on the screen. So he was using the Big Train blended vanilla smoothie mix. I think he said that he was using the sugar-free just because that's what he had on hand. But the actual recipe that we have, and it's also available on our website, it calls for just the regular vanilla. You could also use the cream orange mix for this one. And then you could use like the Da Vinci gourmet syrup, cherry syrup, blackberry syrup, any of those syrups, those fruit flavored and dark color syrups would make this an excellent choice for this beverage. Thank you all for participating in the chat. We appreciate the questions and comments and keep them coming. Take advantage of Levi, who's here, and also of Kerry, our brand manager, for any product specific questions that you may have. So the next one is our strawberry cheesecake frappe. And this one I think is one of my personal favorites just because who doesn't love cheesecake in a frappe? I mean, really. So let me stop sharing so that Levi could run us through the recipe and making this beverage.
Yeah, cool. All right, we're back. Let me move that out of the way a little bit. So this one really ages really well. As you see, it's just kind of sitting there. A little bit more pretty. Again, I have some blue and green lights, so the lighting looks a little bizarre maybe. If we remember, we're going to start with our most fluid ingredients. So we have some water. I'm going to use the blackberry again, just in the base. We're going to use about a half an ounce here. I'm just going to splash it in because we're just going for color. We're just showing you. The total volume here, we're going to do a little bit less of the water because we have a cheesecake that's going to go in, and that is going to get pulverized and become part of the drink and become liquidy. Really, it's powder or cheesecake at this point, so I'm going to go with cheesecake. Woo! And of course, it's all over my fingers. Let me just get this out for a second.
And Levi, someone asked for the previous drink. Do you use a smoothie stabilizer or that's the vanilla base?
Just the vanilla base. It's designed to be blended with typically just water. So as you add in other ingredients that have acids or sugars, say orange juice has both acid and sugars. So luckily that cancels itself out. These are designed to go into pretty much most environments. Even fresh citrus, it does really well with that. You can't just have a crazy amount of lemon juice, which wouldn't taste good anyway, but it'll stabilize itself. Actually, one trick, I'm so glad you asked this, that I love to throw in is I just take little tiny slices of orange and I throw in oranges into my blender all the time. It adds a really nice, fresh flavor, and it's nearly free. You can add in so many slices of oranges to so many different blended drinks before it, use up one orange even. I'm gonna get some ice real fast. And knowing that my ice is a little bit more cold right now, I'm gonna hold back just a little bit of ice. I hope that made sense a minute ago when I was talking about really cold ice being thicker. It's not melting. It's going to be a firmer drink. I'm going to go ahead and put myself on mute again like we did last time. All right. Different blenders have different speeds and all of that. Of course. Oh, I wish you guys could see this.
Oh, that looks
Levi,
great.
we have a quick question about what would you use if you don't have cheesecake?
Sure, you can get a cheesecake flavor, like a syrup or so, or you could actually just chop up a freeze cake and freeze little pieces of cheesecake and just use those as your ice. I've done a lot of different inclusions that you just chop up, throw into a freezer super fast. And then you can say it has real cheesecake in there, which is really cool. The cheesecake definitely adds a huge mouthfeel. If I wasn't using real cheesecake, I'd be tempted to add in like cream cheese as well or something like that. I've done this drink before on the fly for somebody here, and I actually used a scoop of yogurt, and that made it happen as well. I used strawberry and yogurt and blended from there.
Someone asked, any suggestions to have some cheesecake bits?
Yeah, you find that as it gets blended up, they do get pulverized. It is cream based, but you could definitely add a little bits on top, or even if you use angel food cake and a little bit of strawberry drizzle, that would still have that same impact of cake. Be really nice and visual. That little tiny bit on the top, whatever that last 2% of effort really goes for that lingering impact. I mean, here I just added a simple skewer with a simple cherry, and that really makes it special. In the photo, it had the stem on it, and it kind of played off a little little playfully, and that was like a really nice touch to the drink. Anything else I can do for you guys?
Thank you, Levi.
bet.
Encourage everyone to continue to send their feedback and their questions, take advantage of our beverage experts here. And I think I'm gonna repeat something that Levi said, just because it really ties into the conversation that we've been having about the wow factor, and how Levi said those 10 seconds at the end or 2 minutes at the end, adding something on top of your beverage really makes a difference and adds so much value. So it's those little things that are really going to bring up your beverage offering.
Maria's
Yes.
a person here, Angela, she says that she has an ice cream shop here with no ice maker. Is bagged ice okay, or do you have another suggestion?
That's a great question. Levi, maybe you can help answer this one.
Yeah, which type of ice was it again? Sorry.
Bagged ice.
Oh, bagged ice. Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny. My ice machine just broke. I just got it fixed today. It's been broke for a week. I will show you real fast the difference in ice. Just give me 1 second here. Ice. Is my screen on here?
Yes.
Perfect. This is how it comes from the gas station. Pretty hard to measure. It's also really solid. So I end up breaking it up. As you see, there's little holes in here. This ice is very inconsistent. So when you're using this bagged round party ice, just be forgiving with.
I'm sorry. Can we unshare the screen? I think some people can't see because it's so small.
I'll
All
go
right.
grab the ice again.
All right. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
No
No
problem.
worries. So this is the bagged ice. It has holes in there. That has to do with the total surface area. What you want to have is your ice should occupy 40 to 60% of the volume of the drink. At 40 to 60%, the rest is going to be your products, your base product that allows it to blend, and then also whatever liquids you're using. This is how the ice comes in, right? As it comes in, I'm breaking it up and I'm tossing it into the ice well for service. Now, these little things, we're talking about ice and just having the right one. You can still get by. Just be forgiving. You might have to find that you need to tweak just a little bit. You might have to add a little bit bigger volume. There might be a small change that you have to make it consistent. When you get the right ice machine, that 40 to 60% ice margin, you're looking at 20% cost of goods. Once you dial it in, it'll just make your product cheaper because you can be more consistent. So the best ice that I think in the world to use for blenders would be the ones that look like little dice, like the 1 through 6 rolling dice. Those have been historically, in my experience, the best ice for blending. The second best is a little moon shape. It's kind of flat. It has a little moon. It looks like a little pillow, a really small pillow. That's the second best ice that I've worked with personally.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Levi. So we're going to be moving on, but I encourage everyone to continue that interaction. If you have any questions or comments, I'm sure other people in the audience may have that question or would love to hear the comments as well. And I'll turn this over to Kerry.
Great. So before our next demo for the delicious beverage behind me, we have an intro to a growing beverage, which is now available within our Big Train product line. So pronounced horchata. It is a chilled Mexican drink that is made from rice, water, sugar, and cinnamon. Horchata is in the adoption phase today, but it's already known by 45% of consumers. This is pretty wild considering 2 years ago in 2021, only 4% of consumers knew about horchata. So that's huge growth. And then even today, 21% of consumers consider themselves to like or love horchata. So definitely a good item to add to your menu. In the next 4 years, it's expected to outperform 84% of all other foods, beverages, and ingredients. So at Big Train, we have a blended cream horchata drink mix that was designed to really be authentic to horchata. It has a rice component, and therefore it's pretty unique in terms of its on-target taste profile. So almost a little bit grainy, as horchata is supposed to be. So now Levi's going to demonstrate a prickly pear horchata frappe for us.
All right, I'm off mute. I'm back. Perfect. Hey, so it's super funny. I actually ran back to my ice machine, and we're running through some cleaner and making the ice machine better. So we're not going to drink this, but this is the ice I was talking about. See how it's square? It actually has a little bit of a divot in it. This makes the best smoothies that I've played with. So hallelujah, we got some prickly pear. All right. Brand new. It has this little bit of orange lingering flavor that goes really good with the cinnamon that's in the horchata base. So that's kind of a really nice bonus combo. I'd call it a lucky strike extra. We're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of the syrup. On the side here, I do have the markings that are 5 ounces, so I can do that 5 ounce. What's nice about the Big Train is it's always 2 scoops, 5 ounces, and then 1.5 cups of ice. So 12 ounces of ice, or a scoop and a half. So that makes it really easy on us. Here's my half a cup. So 1 scoop of this. Talking about growing trends, I'm actually adding tacos to my little bar program next week. And we're going to add a horchata mocktail, just basically a horchata milk to the menu because it's super tasty. You mentioned the rice powder in this product, which is awesome. It does add that nice thickness to it. So I'm going to go ahead and give this just a little pulse blend to make sure all the water, all the water hydrates that cinnamon and that rice, because it can be a bit dry. In general, the cinnamon challenge, we take a spoonful, pretty dry. That's it. Super fast. Now it's already pre-hydrated perfectly. Our special ice. I'm going to go on mute so you don't have to listen to this. All right. Look at that flow.
That looks so good, Levi. Someone asked, what is the size of the cup for 5 ounce of water syrup and scoop of powder can make?
It makes 2 8-ounce servings or 16 ounce.
Thank you.
And that size seems to be a really good universal size for smoothies and blended drinks. Maybe a 12 ounce, a little bit smaller, like in the California market, but that 16 ounce mark, it allows enough product and enough ice so you can get a good performance of the actual beverage. If you make too small of a drink, like a little 1 ounce, it won't blend up. You can't throw in 1 ice cube and make 1 ounce serving. If you make too big, it's too much, right? So the 16 ounce seems to be right about the perfect price point. Then you can charge a little bit more because it's 16 ounces, it's bigger. You're going to go through the same amount of labor to make a small one versus a bigger one anyway. With this one here too, I'm just going to throw some whipped cream and then some cinnamon powder on top just to make it nice and special. Pretty easy. Oh, once I find it, there it is.
So another person asked, how would they describe the taste of this drink?
Yeah, it's going to be first like your creamy nature and then a sweet cinnamon. And that creamy nature goes back and forth between rice and like a dairy. What's really wild is my favorite application with horchata is actually blending it with cold brew coffee. And then you get this coffee chocolate, really decadent flavor notes, almost like the brown sugars with the lingering coffee and chocolate aftertaste. That's my favorite application with it personally. But yeah, it's pretty nice. It's sweet. It's simple. It's almost like a ice cream beverage that has horchata, so rice and cinnamon finish.
How about the prickly pear part? How
Yeah,
does
that's
that
going to get your fruit. So it is like a slightly cooked pear or a canned pear. We have a moderate sweetness. And there's this little bit of a sharp, like orange zest finish on that. So just a citrus sweet. What's a challenge with some of these fruit flavors like lychee, they're going to be more about the sweet and the fruit and the texture than they are about the actual flavor impact. Watermelon's kind of in that same realm where it's a lot of texture, but you do have that flavor. So when you're trying like a watermelon flavored syrup or puree, not having the texture, it makes it taste like a gummy bear. You'll get the flavor, but it's just a lot of sweetness. So it's kind of a little balance between those. But this is definitely pear. It tastes like a canned pear.
So in your opinion, what fruit flavors you would say pairs best with their horchata?
Oh, orange, cinnamon and orange are a super pairing. That's why this little bit of an orange finish on the prickly pear is actually really nice. Any of your berry flavors, the dark berries. So I also grabbed the blackberry, would be really killer. Your raspberry, strawberry would be great. If you add in a little bit of chocolate, that lends a lot more flavors you can put in there. Personally, I'd avoid lemon. I'd avoid lime.
Sounds great. Someone complimented and said it's so hard to explain a flavor, Levi. You do such a great job explaining.
Oh yeah, it's what I've been doing for a long time. Like this, the next one. I'll talk about the next one and when Maria's ready.
Another person asked, can we use it by about the fruit? Good question with fruit flavor pairing. Can we use it by itself or not advisable?
Oh, the horchata by itself, definitely. It's just a little bit more simple. The horchata, it really, in my experience, how it was explained to me years ago when I was eating tacos at a small family-owned restaurant. I was like, oh, what's that? And the bubbler bubbling up, it had all that cinnamon and sediments. And they're like, oh, we drink that because it neutralizes all the heat from the tacos. So to me, it's like having a really nice like glass of milk that has more flavor to it. It's not just a simple creamy beverage. It's sweet, it's fun, and that earthy rice and cinnamon pairs really well with the different tacos that are on display at most Mexican restaurants. That's been my impression of it, and then from there, then I take that into another flavor realms, adding other fun stuff to it. But definitely the cold brew. If you're going to blend it with anything, I would do the cold brew. Otherwise, just water.
Thank you. That was great. That was
Exactly.
really thank you so much.
We can see the notes now, Maria.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Oh, here we go. Okay. So thank you all for all your comments and questions. Great conversation. And just to let you all know, I know that Levi used the Da Vinci Gourmet Prickly Pear fruit syrup. That is something new, and don't tell anyone, but you guys are the first of the first out in the field to know about this, because we are actually just launching this flavor next week. But we decided, why not? All these participants on this call are coming here to listen to great information. Why not give them a peek under the tent? So we are talking to Lollicup about that, and we'll see if that is going to be offered or will be a special order item in the future. But that is a new flavor that we're launching next week. So we're going to be moving on to a little conversation about bubble tea and boba, which lends itself very well to the frappe category. So talking about boba, also known as bubble tea, is a milk tea drink with tapioca balls served with a thick straw to combine the drinking and snacking experience. So what we're looking at is that 3 out of 5 consumers are interested in trying new texture experiences. And just from looking at regionality, a lot of cities within the US, boba and bubble tea are already a mainstream item or a staple items, especially in ethnic coffee houses or bubble tea shops. I live in Chicago, and we actually have so many in our area, and they've just become so popular. So major growth in food service. We're looking at 30% growth on US menus in the past year. That is a significant growth. And it's been 72% growth in the past 4 years. So it's definitely moving up in popularity and becoming more and more popular, not just in major cities, but across the nation. So how can we help, or how can we bring to life boba for our consumers? We have our Dragonfly blended creams. And Kerry, do you want to talk about these?
Sure. So these mixes are intentionally colorful. They weren't necessarily designed for the purposes of boba, but they are great when adding boba pearls. I also wanted to mention that popping boba is pretty hot in the market right now. It's relatively new to the market, so maybe a little bit harder to find, but popping boba is a really fun addition to these beverages as well. So once you consume the boba pearl, it pops and releases like some juices in your mouth. So it has a really fun mouth feel and would be great in combination with our colorful drink mixes. So these are the 4 mixes that we recommend with boba. Taro, as you can see here, is purple, honeydew, mango, and coconut are all kind of light pastel colors. So they would be a beautiful presentation. And then here we have some of the top boba tea flavors. So luckily, not necessarily designed for boba, but big train SKUs that work well with boba also are very popular boba tea flavors. So mango here, we have almost 70% of consumers like or love mango. Taro is a particularly unique flavor and pairs very well with boba pearls. It's not as well known as some of these other staple flavors, but it is well known within kind of the boba lovers community. And coconut, of course, about 60% of consumers like or love coconut. So our big train Dragonfly coconut is rather universally appealing. And then finally, we've got Thai tea. Thai tea is kind of its own growing segment, separate from boba, but we can use our Dragonfly Thai tea mix to create boba Thai tea, or just to create Thai tea without the popping boba or boba pearls. And that is relatively well known. About 60% of consumers know about Thai iced tea.
Thank you. So here's a couple of trends that we see within that boba tea or bubble tea category. So you have your classic milk tea. We have our brown sugar tea, the taro tea, milk tea, which we have under our line, and then the fruit-filled tea. There's some explanations here, but you see it across the nation. We have the California, New York, the North Carolina, Texas. It's just something that's definitely growing, and consumers are looking more and more towards it. So with that in mind, we move to our version of, or our creation. Actually, it's Levi's creation. I cannot take credit for that. It's the strawberry coconut taro using our big train blended taro mix. And I'll hand it over to Levi.
Sweet. All right, this works. Great. I went ahead and just pre-blended this. We're all ready, just to save you all the time, because you've seen me do it a couple times. Gonna add the ice so it's nice and fresh. I wanted to say a little bit about this drink. It's going to be your taro base, which is really fun. And the combination here, someone asked about flavor combinations. What happened was, it was more of a necessity. The only boba I could get was strawberry. So I was like, well, strawberry and taro. I was like, okay, that's all right, but we need another fun flavor. And strawberry and coconut are like super good together. And then the performance of this drink is going to have some layers to it. And if you've ever had a drink called a Miami Vice, it is coconut. It's blended with strawberry, and it's a really fun, super vibrant drink. It's kind of popular right now, as a lot of the more vibrant colored drinks are emerging. I'll put in the chat a little link to an Instagram post I did with actually a former brand manager of this brand, holding a Barbie cocktail that we're doing this week at the bar. It's all about the color. It's all about the fun. And that's what this drink really is, with the layers. So let me blend up this little base real fast.
Levi, we have a question for you too. When you're done blending that, if you could describe the flavor of taro.
All right, I have ears now. What's the question again?
Yeah, there's a question in the chat, since you seem to be so good at describing flavors, if you could describe the taro flavor.
Yeah, so it's in the family of sweet potato. So it has this like just a sweet, what's the right term for it? It's funny, there's a couple of flavors I'm a little bit blind to, that when they're in stuff. One's hibiscus. Hibiscus just ends up being a tart flavor for me. But my girlfriend's a super taster, level 3 wine som. And we had a drink the other day and she's like, oh, taro. I was like, it just seems like earthy, sweet potato to me. And then it's purple because that's what the color really is. So here we have a nice base. If we float it a little slow, it goes right on top. So then with that sweet potato kind of earthy flavor, the whipped cream that has coconut ends up being a really great contrast. It's kind of a similar flavor, but not the same exact. And a lot of people don't know that coconut, or not coconut, I'm sorry. Maybe it's not sweet potato. It might be pumpkin. It's from South America originally. So these kind of earthy flavors actually all work out really well. Oh, this is a fun little strawberry. That's a pretty one. So you got strawberry on bottom. Yeah. And you can pop them with a straw, and it releases that strawberry on bottom flavor. And you got strawberry on top.
Awesome. Someone asked, how do you keep boba pearls at perfect texture for a long period of time?
Yep. I've done some experimenting in chats with people, even inside the Kerry, like the scientists there. And boba is so particular. Even 2 years ago, I was doing a Star Wars menu, and I wanted to do a Boba Tea Fett drink. So Boba Tea and Boba Fett. We ended up just using the cherries. You can kind of see there's cherries in here, because the boba tea, you have to hold at a certain temperature. And I have not become very good at playing with the boba. Here, we use the pearls that pop, and these will hold for a long time. And you just keep them in liquid, keep them chilled. That's a lot easier on my life. So I use those or the cherries personally. They're really nice tapioca, chewy, gummy ones. I've not found a acceptable way to prepare them that's worth it for my time.
Nice. Another person asked, the coconut, is it in the whipped cream?
Yeah, so the coconut, I have this on hand because I ran to a store and back. But usually what we use is the EC, it's ISI, whipped cream charger. And you're going to be using a ratio of about 1 cup to 1 ounce of syrup. So that ratio is really nice. If you make your own syrup, use your own syrup into your own whipped cream, then you would charge it up, it expands, and you have your own like flavored whipped cream. For right now, I just don't have the bandwidth to have those. They're about $70, so they're not that expensive. They do go bad, if you don't use it within a month. But flavoring different whipped cream is super fun. It's that little extra surprise.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime.
That looks delicious.
Yeah,
Just
it's a
like the
fun one.
picture.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna go on.
Sorry, that does look delicious. So Levi was mentioning about flavoring your own whipped cream. So for the recipe, for the official recipe for this drink, we do have the coconut, Da Vinci coconut syrup. And you use 2 ounces of that with the 14 ounces of heavy whipping cream to make that particular whipped cream for the drink. So thank you for that, Levi. So we have our last poll question of this webinar. So
Awesome. We are at our last poll question. Would you mind unsharing your Zoom? We want to do the raffle first, but also I also want to mention that after this webinar, we are going to have a survey, and we would love if you guys could all fill that out, because we want to create these webinars that's going to be most helpful for you, and also give us some feedback so we can improve it for next time. So after this webinar, if you guys could also fill out the survey, that would be very appreciated. So here we are at the raffle. Okay, here we go. This is the second raffle that we had. So let's see. We are going to see. Yeah. Okay, so number 9. So that is Mark Sampson. Congratulations. Okay, so please, we're gonna be contacting you at the end of this and giving you the prize. And now we gonna have one more poll, and you guys are not gonna want to miss this. It's gonna be another prize that you can win. It's gonna either it's gonna have a tumbler as well as a basket with a lot of the Kerry food products that we have been talking about today. Someone asked, can we access this video after the webinar? You will be sent this, yes. And so don't worry, you will be able to access this webinar after this session. And we are going to go to the last question. Can you please share your screen now? Thank you. So the question is, which creation do you like the best? Which was your favorite one that you saw? Which frappe or boba creation from this training was your favorite? OJ Sunrise Frappe, Strawberry Cheesecake Frappe, Prickly Pear, Horchata, Strawberry Coconut Taro. On 5, have my own creation in mind after this presentation. Okay, so which one was your favorite? We're gonna be giving another, let's say, 15 seconds. So be sure to participate. You're not gonna want to miss this. And yeah. All right, so I'll be closing the poll in 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, polls have been closed, and we will be revealing the raffle at the end of this webinar. So stay tuned. Back to you.
Thank you. So we have just a few more slides, and just mentioning what our big train solutions are for you. So Kerry, I'll leave this to you.
Sure. A lot of words on this slide, but like Levi mentioned, what's really great about Big Train is that it's an incredibly easy preparation. I had dropped the prep for iced, hot, and blended into the chat. And afterwards, when you receive the deck, I believe in the appendix, there's a slide that details the easy way to prepare any of the Big Train mixes. So it doesn't always have to be the fanciest beverage like on the right-hand side of this slide. It could just be one of our tasty, simple mixes with water. So simple preparation: water, milk, ice, and a blender. One mix can be made in any 3 different ways. Our portfolio really has a lot of fun twists. We're constantly trying to innovate across different trends like Horchata and Dragonfly, Taro with Boba. And then also consistency. So our mix is specifically formulated to create consistently delicious beverages every time you're blending, mixing, shaking, or however you're preparing it. And then also incredible margins. So these are different beverages that you can sell for, between $4 and $6, kind of depending on where and what time of day you're selling them for. So that's a really great price point considering the kind of low cost of purchasing ice and Big Train mixes. We do have 55 SKUs. We've got blended iced coffee SKUs, which are made with 100% Arabica coffee, gourmet flavors. We've got chai tea mixes like the spiced chai in this photo. Those are made with a creamy blend of honey, vanilla, black tea, and spices. We have blended creams and frozen hot chocolates. So our frozen hot chocolates are pretty fun, seasonal. We have like a 20 below white hot chocolate, which is really great for maybe like a holiday frap. We have a lemonade SKU, which is a fun shaken lemonade mix. We also have kids cream SKUs, which are kind of nostalgic, colorful flavors for kids. So we've gotten a cotton candy one right there. And then lastly, we have some better for you mixes. And those mixes are either high protein, carb conscious, or reduced sugar to support a healthy lifestyle, but still feel kind of tasteful and indulgent. So a lot of offerings over here at Big Train. And please, if you have any questions about our portfolio, I'm happy to answer those afterwards.
Thank you, Kerry.
Sure.
So to wrap this up, just a reminder that we are here and we are ready to be your beverage solutions partner. We invite you to follow us on Instagram. The first QR code is our Instagram, leads to our Instagram page. So please follow us there. You can also go on our Kerry Foodservice website for Big Train recipes. The second QR code leads directly to that site. And then, of course, ready to shop, please go on to the Lollicup website and purchase Big Train. The third QR code will lead you directly to the Big Train page on the Lollicup website. And again, I just want to thank you all for participating. Thank you, Levi, for those beverages, for demoing. And if you have any questions, there's our contact information. The Lollicup marketing team, myself and Kerry are on here. But if you have any questions for Levi, we're happy to relate them to him and get answers for you as well. Kayla, I know that we have the winner to the last poll question. So not sure if you're ready. Let me know.
I am ready. Here we are with our poll
Perfect.
bucket or raffle bucket. So here we are with the last poll winner. I'm excited. Are you? Here we go. It is number 19. And number 19 is Shira. All right, congratulations. And thank you so much to Kerry Foodservice team. And I want to again say, please follow them on your social media as well as Lollicup store. And we would love to hear more from you. So again, just a reminder, please fill out that survey. And we want to make sure that these webinars are the best and always improving for all of you. So thank you so much for attending. Please follow us on our social media pages and be sure to check us out for next time. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.